in the military and the athletic arena who used the male image to pattern after the plantation had adopted the authoritarian process of the European, and our women bought into it. But the control of our men came about through the whorish prospects of our women. What do I mean? A woman who wasn't taught about virtue and chastity would let some slick snake dog come and ease up on her and fill her mind with a bunch of nonsense, and she would allow him to ease her in bed. And once he got her in bed, he'd impregnate her and then flip the game. He, after having told her how much he loved her and how much he wanted to be with her, once she was impregnated, he then flipped it to say, I didn't know you were going to be like this, or I didn't know you were going to be like that, and end up leaving her. Well, what this has done over many generations is hardened the hearts and mind of our most tender asset, and that being our women. And as a result of them peeping the game, the pimp game, the hustler game, the street gang of this nigger that's been released into the culture, they began to emulate and imitate the game. So what they did was, they got a baby by this brother, then got a baby by that brother, then got a baby by another brother, and then the government chipped in and said, oh yeah, by the way, we will pay you for all these bastard children that you have. And they said, okay. And then they began, once through the help of the government, to set up enclaves, governmental housing projects, the same way they did in time past, where they would allow these hot wenches, these bitches, who would do nothing more than allow men to come into them because of a word and a name, and have these babies with the very government that castrated, raped, took land, and abused them, would pay them to have these babies. And through that, they were able to take control of the household. See, the households have been controlled by women since the 30s. And these women have used this power of these bastard children that they've had to control the household. Once they got all these babies, and they would bring these stud niggers into these households, once the Negro man tried to assert any type of authority, well, this female who looks for massa for all her sustenance would say, oh no, baby, you ain't gonna come in here and run this. Massa running this, and behind him is me. And if you don't like the way I do things, you can hit the road, Jack, and don't come back no more, no more, no more. Because I got 10 other stud niggas waiting to take your place. Well, as this game continues to be played out, you've got these young males that are raised in these households, seeing niggas coming in and out as they go, and not understanding that they're being programmed for the same agenda. And that as they grew up adoring mama, hating their fathers, then the psychological profile was set in place. This psychological profile was one that gave a sense of adornment to the mother, because that's all they saw. And because mama is about nurture and about giving a semblance of authority to the male, she was never able to teach that male how to be a man. And as a result of that, as the young lad began to get older and bigger and stronger in physical strength, when he started to rebel against his mother because she could not discipline him and teach him understanding humility and suffering certain conditions, that same mother that nurtured him he began to curse out, beat, have sex with, and then take that same whoremongering attitude and spread it throughout the world. It is this agenda that has created the mind of these young male dogs that go out having babies indiscriminately with these female bitches. Of course, a female dog is a bitch in heat. It's called a bitch because she's in heat. And they go out and perpetuate this whole syndrome. And the process has not stopped. Well, let's begin to investigate. We peeping the game now. Why, in America, the woman has been placed in the position of authority. And why on all your commercials and on the big screen and on the television program, they're unafraid to show under the woman's dress with the underwear commercials, with her always crossing her legs, because you know the white woman that they're following is known to jack her legs up, gap them open, and for everybody to see. Anna Nicole, Marilyn Monroe, the Gabor sisters. Yes, right, I'm going back even further. It came with the mentality of being a whore and a prostitute. Understand this. Anything that is a treasure is in secret. But these sisters today ain't got nothing in secret, and they'll show it to you for a price. This is what we're fighting against. And it's something that's cross-generational, and it's becoming cross-cultural. As I introduced the program with various greetings from the nationalities on the planet, from the Vietnamese to the Cambodians to the Japanese to the Arabs, as well as the Latin communities, they have forgotten more about environmentalism than America will ever know. But because of the television and American Idol and all of these stars that they promote all over the world through this fantasy land of television, they've been able to create in the minds of the weak masses this idea that the American woman is on the cutting edge of womanhood. See, there's a feminist, lesbian, pervert, homosexual agenda in this country. And see, who is it that began allowing these pervert deviants to sit in their girl groups and call these men, yeah, girl, sit on down with us, and accept them in our community? Who is it that's going out to these movies that's seeing folks like Eddie Murphy and this other guy whose name I can't even think of, and the other young guy that's on television that's been wearing clothes even back from your boy in the 70s, who first came out wearing the dresses. Flip Wilson. Tyler Perry. See, who is it that's promoting all of this? It's your women. Because Massa told them it was okay. And you sit up and you watch and you adore your mama. And you should. Now, I take care of mine as well, but that's why the Most High didn't put her in charge. He knew her weakness. And as they continue to promote this feigned, corrupt mentality under the banner of equality and human rights, our children are in a constant state of confusion. And as they kill, maim, rape, and go out in the world community through the internet and promote this garbage, the very waste that is the #1 exporting factor of America is the waste that's being promoted in the minds of our people. Let me try to give some clear credence, in one sense, to this concept. Because as you know, those of you who's been following this program, the Most High moved me to challenge Massa through the Superior Court through the birth certificate. It is this identity